Welcome, modern day mystics, fellow truth seekers, James and Justin back again, and today we are continuing our series from 21 Notes on the Valmiki Ramayan. This is episode 6 of season 1 called Rakshasas. I don't know, hopefully I'm saying that right. And anyway, we're trying to possibly have an interview with the creator of this channel. So they said we can react to clips of these episodes, so this will just be a clip of episode 6, and he said we could do a full reaction to episode 7, so stay tuned for that one. We'll probably stop after episode 7 and try to connect with the content creator, but he said for you guys out there, leave questions for him so that when we do interview him, we can pose those questions to him. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get into it.
Even in the previous episode, when Valmiki said that a figure appeared out of the fire, that was the Kathayuktam part. The fact part is simply that through the process of the Ashwamedha and the Putrakameshti Yagyas, some type of medical or herbal formulation was created that helped in conception, and thus the babies were born. Now here, Valmiki is using a particular literary or storytelling technique. He is using the construct of a conversation between Brahma, Devas and others to really bring out what was in the minds of the people attending the yajna, but was left unsaid. Simplistically, we can consider the Devas to be the leaders among the people at the yajna. These leaders could see how the menace of the Rakshasas was only getting worse and needed to be tackled at its root. And so the Devas told Brahma about Ravan. He was tormenting them, and he was armed with a boon that made him unbeatable. He made everyone tremble with fear. Valmiki writes very poetically, Nainam Suryah Pratapati Parshve Vati Namarutah Chalor Mimali Tam Drishtva Samudropi Nakampate. The sun does not scorch him, and the wind does not blow past him. Even the ocean, with its continuous moving waves, becomes still in his presence. Lovely imagery. Ravan makes people tremble, but the sea becomes still out of fear. Nakampate. Brahma said that while it was true that Ravan was armed with a boon that made him virtually unbeatable, there was a catch, a loophole. In asking for the boon, Ravan had sought immunity from every creature born on earth other than man. In his arrogance, he felt it was beneath him to seek immunity from mere humans. Therefore, he shall die at the hands of man. There is no other way. Just then, Vishnu came on the scene, allayed everyone's fears, and promised to kill Ravan. He then decided to divide himself into 4 parts to be born as Dashrath's 4 sons. Remember how Dashrath had divided the porridge among his wives in the previous episode. An important point to note from this conversation is that the clash with the Rakshasas was building up well before Sita got abducted. In fact, the roots go back to before Ram was born. Ramayana is not merely a story of 2 kings fighting because one abducted the other's wife. Now, some of you may be a bit skeptical about the negative portrayal of the Rakshasas, but we will see later that Valmiki does give credit where it is due. There are glowing descriptions of Ravan's Lanka. And remember, Valmiki was not like a medieval court poet. We should not make the mistake of applying our medieval templates on ancient history. A king throws a bag of gold coins at the poet if he praises him, and throws him in prison if the poet is critical of him. From Valmiki's description, it is clear that that was not how it worked in his time. Valmiki was a great sage whose ashram was actually outside Dashrath's domain. Even within Dashrath's court, the rishis were his counselors, not subordinates. It was not possible to sway such rishis with money or threats. Valmiki was not writing a eulogy to a victorious king. He was writing itihas, purvavrittam kathayuktam. With that background of the Rakshasas, Valmiki next shines the spotlight on the Vanaras. Were they really monkeys? We will find out in the next episode. Iti ha asa. That is how it happened.
Reaction time.
Well, there you go. That episode seemed to be a lot different from the other ones. I feel like it had to like go back, create some context, define some things, and then like piece to get together some things. And we've noted a couple times as we've been watching, it's hard to follow sometimes. Hard to like put this all together and get it as it's going. I like the little spoiler with the monkeys at the end because I have a feeling that Hanuman pops into the story somewhere. But then also I feel like this was the first, or maybe like it mentioned that it said Brahman in the last one, but it introduced Vishnu, I think, in this one. And so you're starting to see the gods coming into the story as it looks like you've got two warring parties coming together.
And we learned that word ithitas.
Okay, what did that mean again?
Ithikas or ithitas? How did you pronounce it?
I don't know. Ititas?
Which is like an account of what actually happened made into a story.
Yeah.
Or something. So that's like, let that roll around in the brain. We'll probably be more apt to understand that when we encounter it. I'll be honest with you, okay? You probably saw me twisting, shifting, stifling yawns and stuff like that, making faces just to try to like stay engaged. It's because stories that end up having a lot of points that I'm supposed to remember, that are supposed to be significant, but are told like a story. I struggle with that, to keep my attention on all the different
I do too.
points.
I'm the same way.
Because I'll be honest with you, where I'm at in my walk with spirituality, we feature a lot of stuff on this channel, and it would be great to interview this guy. I feel like I'm far more captivated talking directly to people, it seems like. The people that we interview, they're always impressive, and this channel's impressive, and the video's impressive. But that being said, where I'm at in my spiritual walk is I'm not interested in memorizing details of the religions that we cover. That could be any one of them. Everything from Hindu to Jainism to Judaism to Christianity to Buddhism. I'm not really, maybe Buddhism I might be a little more interested in because it's more, seems to be going directly for enlightenment. But I don't study religions all that much anymore these days because I'm interested in where they end primarily. And I don't believe that the content leading up to it is pertinent for my life. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that made sense.
Yeah, and that's fair. Everyone, approaches it in their own way. Me, I take it as I'm kind of similar to you. I'll be like, whatever sticks is going to stick. Like, I'm you. I'm not going to go back and probably try to, like, memorize this. There's a little bit of a game in my mind here because I'm, like, trying to piece it together. And there's so many parts, and I get the sense that there's a reason why this episode had to go back and kind of like go over some points, because if you don't get like all the things in right place, you're probably going to miss some pretty important aspects of the story. So like, if it sticks with me, if it sticks, then good. If not, I'm sure it'll come in waves. Like we've watched so much of this content. There are pieces over time now of Hindu culture and these ancient scriptures that's a lot has washed over and gone in one ear and out the other. But some parts have stuck. Have stuck.
If there was a test that was like, what's dharma? What is the, Ramayana? And, I actually still wouldn't necessarily know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if it was like, what's samsara, and there was terms, I would be better off than I was years ago.
Yeah.
I would understand it. But I'm sure to the people that grew up with this, remember something. To us, we sound like baby idiots that can't follow this stuff. It's so simple. That might be because you grew up with it, and this is all new.
Yeah, I could probably tell you still to this day, like the Genesis stories, like all of them, how they like from one to the end, like, and there's tons of them.
Yeah,
I could tell you a zillion Bible stories, but that was because I was like fed it as a child, like over and over again.
But if we interview the creator of this channel, we'll get a direct line to the information.
That'll open more up. So
answer our questions as we have them.
I'm excited. We only got one more episode until we're going to put a pause on this series and then try and reach out again. But hopefully you guys liked our reaction on this. If you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone, until next time,
stay spiritual.